Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. In this video, I'm going to be doing a response to my Insta story where I shared photos of how I organize my daughter's room. And to kill two birds with one stone, I will talk about the things that people have been asking me regarding my motherhood journey so far. By the way, I've already done a proper clean of this room the day before, so this video will only be a quick overview of what I'm doing or what I do every morning. So to begin, I have put my daughter in her cot with some toys because there's no point in trying to clean her room when her main aim is to undo everything that I've put away. So I'm just putting away her toys. I've been arranging her play mats. So yeah, my daughter's name is Kaya Savannah and she's 10 months old now. And I think for me, my biggest challenge has been learning everything from scratch. You know, some people have lots of experience with kids even though they don't have their own. Maybe they have nieces or nephews or younger siblings. But I never had that, so I didn't know how anything worked. So the first time I put on Kay's nappy, I managed to put it on backwards. Don't ask me how, but I know it's pretty self-explanatory, but I didn't really know how to do it. So I'm kind of glad that I stayed in the hospital for a few days after giving birth because I learned a lot from the nurses on the ward. Also, there was a lot of information for me to take in. For example, I would make formula milk, but I would make the temperature just right by mixing hot water and cold water together. But then when my health advisors visited me, she told me I have to make the milk piping hot to kill the bacteria in the powder and then wait for it to cool down. And I was like, oops, can you imagine? I've been feeding my daughter like bacteria infested milk for like 3 weeks beforehand. And I was just sitting there full of guilt, telling her how I'd been doing so wrong. But you know what? We live and we learn. We make mistakes as we go along. And I don't know how it is in like other countries, but I feel like in England, everything is so OTT when it comes to what you can and can't do. So, for example, when I was in hospital, I asked the nurse if I could have some warm water because my daughter had hiccups, but I was told that apparently babies don't need water; they just need milk. That's all. So, I don't know. I just feel like it was just a bit OTT. Like if you asked those from an older generation, they could tell you a lot of their practices and you'd be quite shocked of like the things that they were able to do, you know. I just feel like now it was just a bit too restricted. I mean, even giving like a baby a bath in the hospital, I wasn't even allowed to give my daughter a bath, like just to give her a quick wash. But yeah, anyways, when it comes to adjusting to the new family life, I was quite okay with it actually. I mean, it wasn't as bad as I expected, but I think a lot of that is to do with the fact that Kay is a really good sleeper. She likes to sleep, basically, just like me. I think she takes after me in that respect. But when she was going through her teething process, I would wake up through she would wake up through the night, and I thought to myself, oh my gosh, like I have no idea how I would have coped if she always woke up like that every night. So I can't really complain. By the way, here I am. I'm just organizing her vest and her t-shirts. In the last storage bin, I had her onesies and then I had her two-piece sleep suits, so it's like the top and the bottom separate. And I like to organize things in this way so that when I come to dress her, it's so easy. Just pull out a little drawer and then you pick out exactly what you want. Everything's there. So all the vests in this basket is at the front where I'm folding now, and all the t-shirt kind of tops are at the back, and this drawer is just basically muslin cloths, bibs and washcloths. In terms of my marriage, my husband and I always have to make time for each other. We can't use having a child as an excuse to stop investing in our marriage. Having a solid marriage is really important to us, and I think that's probably because we both had good examples growing up in our home, and it's something that we want our daughter to see too as well. We also have to make plans for the future and stick to what we agree on. For example, with regards to how we would teach right from wrong, how to hold certain values in life, etc. It's also important that we agree never to override each other's decisions in front of our child, because it can't be a case where I say no to something and then she goes to daddy because he always says yes. It can't be like that. There needs to be consistency, which may be easier said than done, but we have to put it into practice from now. This drawer, by the way, I'm just sorting out the socks and her tights, so all the tights go to the back and all the socks come to the front. I try to make this as simple as possible because, you know, my husband isn't as organized as I am, but I like everything to be as simple as possible so that when he comes to dressing, he can find everything that he needs. This drawer, I'm just doing, I'm just tidying up. So she's got her leggings. I put her jogging bottoms in here as well. And then you'll see later on towards the back, I'll put all her nappy pants. You know, like when babies wear like dresses and they don't have tights on, but they need something to cover the nappy. It's that kind of a nappy pants kind of thing. Yeah, all these clothes. I know that she seems like she has a lot of clothes and she has more in storage as well. But most of these clothes were bought for her. So my husband hasn't actually bought her a single item of clothing because we didn't need to. I've probably bought her maybe about five items or something like that. But our moms especially are so bad when it comes to buying clothes, which I'm so grateful for, because you know it really really does help. But we got like loads of gifts from our baby shower, and like I said, our moms, like my mom and my husband's mom, they do like to buy a lot of clothes for our daughter, so it's really nice. I'm really really grateful for that. So yeah, here I'm just sorting out her hoodies, her knitted clothes, and I put some coats in here, not all of her coats, because it does get quite full. And by the way, this little unit that I have, I chose instead of an actual cupboard or wardrobe. I just like the visibility of it all, but now it's not really a good idea anymore because Kaya likes to use this as like a little climbing frame. So I do need to look at getting another wardrobe. In here, I've just got some bed sheets, some blankets, and towels that I just store away. And here are the other storage they look like suitcases, but they're like just boxes. But I have extra blankets in here. What else do I have in here? Yeah, these are clothes that are too big for her. So these are like from like 1.5 to 2 years old kind of age. So that's way too big at the moment. And then this other pink one, I think there's just more bedding in there as well. I just like to keep them all together. So this little unit here is where I change. Well, I don't really use this anymore actually, because now that she's 10 months old, she likes to roll around. She like it's really difficult to put on her nappies. So I usually just change her on like the jigsaw floor mats, as we saw earlier. But yeah, sometimes like my husband likes to change her on the table here. It's for us, we just use like a normal table that was like a fold away table, and we just use that as her changing table. I like to keep some nappies, the nappy bags, and wet wipes on there. Under the cot, I've got some extra storage with nappies, different sizes, wet wipes. Oh my gosh, this drawer is so messy. But yeah, I just keep like a load of things in here, like mainly like stuff to do with when she's not well. So like I have medicines in here. I have some creams. So obviously you can see the earbuds. I had loads of dummies from the baby shower, so I have spare dummies at the back there. Some of them she hasn't actually used, so I just keep them there just in case or something like that. And you'll probably see me later on. I'll get some more nappies. Actually, I've got it here. So yeah, I've got some nappies to refill. I like this section here to have nappies already stored, so it's so easily accessible rather than me having to go under the crib all the time to get extra nappies. And then I will put extra wipes there as well. In terms of work, I chose to take as long as possible off, as much as I could afford, basically. So I took 11 months. I know that it can be quite tough financially if you want to take off a year. So if you're planning to have a baby, it's good to have money saved up on the side for those rainy days. But for me, the hardest part is trying to work on a project that will be like a side hustle for me. So my daughter hasn't really made that easy for me. I mean, I found it quite stressful because I need to physically make the products to sell, but to juggle making the products and then making sure Kay doesn't hurt herself while playing in her room has been quite challenging because she can be quite boisterous. I've often found myself going to my mum's house when she finishes work so I can get a few hours to work on my project. Then I need to go home to start dinner for when my husband comes home. And I honestly rate stay-at-home moms because for me, going to work feels like a bit of a break. I said it in the nicest way possible, but when you're at home all day with a baby, you can start to miss adult interaction. Like just the other day, we went for dinner at a friend's house and I found myself in autopilot wiping the tablecloth with a wet wipe after I ate. And I was like, what am I doing? Like, I need to snap out of this baby mode. But you know what? Although my days can be very hectic, I still make time to go to the gym because I can't neglect my health as well. So before I got married, I was told I have a condition called PCOS, which is polycystic ovaries. And one of the side effects is that it makes people put on weight easily. And I have definitely seen the reality of that. So that's why I try as much as I can to go to the gym or work out at home as well. Having PCOS can also reduce the chance of conceiving. So I'm so blessed to be able to be a mom, especially when I didn't expect to be able to have children. So yeah, that's why for me, it just makes this journey extra special, and I wouldn't change it for anyone, for anything or anyone.